Hi, thank you for taking the time to checking out my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We upload twice a week where we take the time to just creep into the minds of the most deprived people that walk the face of this earth and unfortunately share some of our air. Again, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Let's get into it. Today's sicko we will be talking about is Bobby Joe Long. He is a known serial killer, and let's get into it. Long was born October 14, 1953, in West Virginia. Prior to Long's murder, he was also known for raping 50 people through classified ads. So what we would consider like a Craigslist where you can sell things, he used in the 80s, it was called the penny saver. And he would try to find unsuspected mothers who were like selling their furniture, used clothes. He would rape them, unfortunately. He would find a reason to use the woman's bathroom where he would get his rape kit together and brutally rape and rob the woman. These crimes, unfortunately, was never prosecuted by local California authorities, in part because the statute of limitation had already expired by the time he was caught. It's sad. Now, when he moved to Tampa Bay Area in 1983, Long's first victim was discovered May of 1984, and his Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office was called to a crime scene where the body of a new woman had been found. This began an intensive investigation onto the abduction and rape and murder of at least 10 women. Sad. In 3 counties in the Tampa Bay area: Hillsborough, Pasco, and Pinellas, involving the personnel from the FBI Tampa Police Department, the Pasco County Sheriff Office, and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. The bodies of the victim were typically found in a state of decomposition long after the murders, having been dumped near a rural roadside and dragged into the woods. Side note, this is sad. It's just really sad. In 1984, while on probation for assault, Long began driving around in his 1978 Dodge Magnum. I remember those. I'm not that old, but I know a couple people that had classic, really dope cars, so I know what a Magnum looks like. But back to what I was saying. He would drive around in his Dodge Magnum just looking for victims in the area known for prostitution and in bars where women were found alone. Long claimed that his victims approached him. I don't believe that. I believe he was just a predator and he would find maybe the most inebriated woman and go and kill, literally. He would persuade them to enter his car and took them to his apartment. Long would then bind the victims with rope, ligature collars, and he had fashioned using a variety of rope knots. Long later confessed that he deprived sadistic pleasures from the abduction, rape, and brutal murders of his victims, some of whom he strangled to death. So let me tell you guys, no one wants to die, but the sickest way you could kill someone is to strangle them, because it takes up to 3 to 4 minutes to kill someone. So you're basically watching the life drain out of someone's eyes. Just so sick. Others he killed by slitting their throats or bludgeoning them to death. Long would then arrange his victims' bodies in unique positions for display. Of Long's 10 known victims, 5 of the women were identified as known prostitutes and 2 as exotic dancers. The remaining 3 victims were a factory worker, a student, and 1 had known an unknown occupation. Now, what happened to Mr. Long was he met this young woman. She was a teenager, and she was coming home. She worked at a donut shop, and he met his match. So not only did he snatch the young girl, and she was 17 years old, snatched the young girl off the bike, put her into the Magnum. He blindfolded her prior to putting her into the Magnum. And she was so smart, she played like she couldn't see anything. But fortunately for her, because all his victims from his Dodge Magnum had the same red fibers on their body, but they could never match. Like, they never could get the make of the car. The young lady had the wits of catching the name of the car. Unfortunately, he got to the apartment. He raped her so many times, but she was able to talk to him, and he started having sympathy. So basically, he started looking at this victim as a human being, and we all know serial killers don't do that. They're sociopaths. They don't have empathy. They don't have feelings. They have such an animalistic vibe. Like, they don't look, once they capture you, they don't look at you as people at all. And she was able to talk her way out of it, and he actually released her. And that night, she went straight to the police department. They took her clothing and everything. The young girl didn't even know how close to death she was until the sheriff told her, "Your fibers matched our murders." And she gave them the information of what the make of the model of the car was, and they pulled his information up, and they was able to kind of do surveillance and catch him. So, the time Mr. Long got captured. At the time of his capture, Long was wanted in 3 Tampa Bay areas and jurisdictions where investigators had collected multiple forms of forensic evidence, including clothing, carpet fibers, semen, ligature marks, and rope knots. Long was arrested outside a movie theater on November 16, 1984, and charged with sexual battery and kidnapping of Lisa McVeigh. Long signed a formal Miranda waiver and consented to questioning. After detectives procured a confession for McVeigh's case, their questioning focused on a series of unsolved sexual batteries and homicides in the Tampa Bay area. As the detectives questioned Long about the murders, he replied, "I'd rather not answer," like the true coward he was. The detectives continued to interrogate in their interrogations and handed Long photographs of various murder victims. At this point, Long stated, "The complexion of these, the complexion of things sure have sick changed since you came back into the room. I think I might need an attorney." You think? No attorney would provide it, and Long eventually confessed to 8 murders in Hillsborough County and 1 murder in Pasco County. Fiber evidence analyzed by the FBI linked Long's vehicle to most of his victims. During Long's trial, he was sentenced to receiving 26 life sentences without the possibility of parole, and 24 to run concurrent, and 7 life sentences with the possibility of parole after 25 years. In addition, the state retained an option to seek the death penalty for the murder of Michelle Simms. And first, side note, my heart goes out to all his victims. This is sad, and it was so unfortunate. In July of 1986, the penalty phase of Michelle Simms' trial was held in Tampa. It lasted 1 week and received extensive media attention. Long was found guilty and was sentenced to die in Florida electric chair. Although Long confessed to raping and killing women, his confession was thrown out. His trial proceeded straight to the penalty phase, which was possible in the 1980s. In early 1985, he received the death penalty. Long was convicted and appealed his first-degree murder conviction and death sentence for crimes committed in Hillsborough County. Long appealed his first-degree murder conviction and sentence of death in Virginia Johnson. On appeal from the circuit court in Fort Pasco County, in which Long's death sentence was vacated, his conviction reversed and his case remained to the trial court with directions to enter an order of acquittal for the murder of Virginia Johnson on February 24, 1999. Long accused the Capital Collateral Regional Council, the state office defending death row inmates in their appeals, of revealing his private letters to a book author, thus violating attorney-client privilege. I mean, listen, we all want to get the bad guy, but we want to get the bad guy correct so he doesn't finagle his way through legalities and do what this clear serial killer did. But it's okay. He also accused the agency of running a death pool, betting on the dates on which inmates would be executed, and asked that the agency be removed from his case. An investigation concluded that these allegations was unfounded. Long's petition for a writ of Miranda's to require Bob Dillinger, the public defender for the 6th Judicial Circuit, to relinquish possession and control of his file in State versus Long was denied. According to Florida Department of Corrections, Long had one 5-year sentence for 99-year sentences, 28 life sentences, and 1 death sentence. Now, here comes fairly the end and great part for resolve for the families who has stayed and continue to fight to get him on the day of his execution. On April 23rd, 2019, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed Long's death warrant. This being the first death warrant signed by DeSantis since he took office in January of 2019. Long's subsequent appeals was denied, and he was executed by lethal ejection on May 23, 2019, more than 30 years after his conviction. Wow. He ate his final meal at 9:30 a.m. local time. He requested roast beef, bacon, french fries, and soda. Wow. He was pronounced dead at 6:55 p.m. and had made no last statement. Of course, that's how cowards go out. Even if you just want to be in La La Land, you still confess to not only raping, but the things that you did. Like, of course, that's how a coward goes out. I just wanted to let you guys know I will definitely be uploading more content twice a week. Please don't forget to subscribe and like my video. This is my first video. I was very nervous. Leave a comment. I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you for watching.